Hey everybody, welcome back to Stamping School. I'm going to be working out of the Little Mini Celebration catalog, and we're going to go to page 8, Day at the Farm. This is the free paper, freebies in this catalog. Spend $50 and you get something free, and this is the Day at the Farm 12 by 12 designer paper. It's pretty cute. And there's a bundle that you can get also in the mini catalog, which I'll show you, that coordinates with it. I grew up on a farm, so I'm all in on this paper. I think it's really cute. I think I could frame it and put it in a kid's room or something just the way it is. I think it's really fun. It's hard to cut it up when it's so cute like this. Just some floral balmy blue on the other side. Right. This one has chickens and geese, all kinds of little fun backgrounds here. And then this side is some, looks like crumb cake chicken wire. Can you see it? There it is. Vegetables on a farm, of course, that's appropriate. Some nice yellow stripes, little country ticking on there. Here's just a red and white pattern for a background or something with all the farm animals on it. And then just a nice little textured grunge on the other side. Now this one coordinates with the dies. I'll show you that. So these flowers cut out, the pigs, the sheep, the cows, even these little leaves here cut out with a little die that's in the bundle that you can get as an extra thing. Plaid on the other side. We got an all-over print with trees. Those would be fun to fussy cut out. And the rolling hillside. So that's the free paper. So then if we go to this catalog, the mini catalog, this is one that's good from January to April 1st. Ends a little bit earlier this year, but turn to page 34. This is the bundle that goes with that paper. It's called On the Farm Bundle with dies and a stamp set. A stamp set has From All of Us, Today is a Good Day, Thinking Happy Thoughts of You. I felt like they could have stretched it a little bit more with some sentiments with sheep, cows, pigs, you know, farm lingo, but that's okay. Now the dies are pretty cute. So there's some solid dies. So they don't go with anything, but they're just like little silhouettes. Look at these cute little ducks and pigs, and look at this adorable little bunny. Oh my gosh, you get a couple cows. And then of course the stamps, you know, do get cut out with the dies. And the designer paper, like I showed you, the sheep, the pigs, the flowers, the cow, those will get cut out. There's also one of these landscape dies that you can put on cardstock to kind of create your hill if you don't like to cut your own. I wasn't quite sure what to do with these, but I looked at the sample they had in the catalog, the concept artist, and that's kind of cute. So they just took the silhouettes of these and made a card that said From All of Us. Oh, I forgot to show you. This little guy is a swirly die. If you put it over the sheep, it makes those swirlies, curlies on him if you like that. So this is what I did. I did an oversized 5x7 card. I just sat down. I already have green ink on my thumb. It's an oversized 5x7, kind of utilizing that free paper. And then I'll show you how to reverse the cow. You don't have to, but I like the fact that this cow's going the other way. So these two cows are from the designer paper, and these I stamped, this I stamped, and the cow I stamped, but I reversed him. So I'll show you again, as a kind of revisit how we do reverse die cuttings if you want things to go in a different direction. So I'm starting with a piece of balmy blue cardstock. Now, like I said, I made this bigger. You can scale it down if you want to, but I just like a bigger card, especially for someone special for their birthday. So it's 5x7 when it's folded. And then this right here is from the back of this paper. So I'm going to cut that down a little bit. And of course it's super easy to cut. They give you nice bold lines. I love that it's 12 by 12, so you really get a lot out of it. Now I can leave this just solid blue, but I've got a little bit of wispy white on here. So I'm using my craft white pad, and I'm just gonna swipe right across here. I don't even know if this is gonna pick up, but it's just enough to give a little bit of sky right across. That one might be a little too heavy. There we go. You can If you're doing it for a class or something with a lot of people, use a sponge or a sponge dauber or a brush or something. But if I'm just doing one thing, I don't mind. It doesn't hurt my pad too much to just do it like that along the edges. Now I have cut the designer paper here. Just cut some of the hills off. And I'm going to glue it down at the bottom here for my rolling hills. You know, I've got this other little piece left. I wonder, I could probably add a little, now we'll just leave it. These two cows are cut from the designer paper. Now I will say, if you don't need the dies, they're pretty easy to fussy cut. They're not too bad. I don't mind fussy cutting. I feel like it's very relaxing. A lot of times I'll even cut things without even knowing what I'm going to do with it. I just sit and cut them out and leave them there, and then I end up using them eventually. Now right here, I added those little green extra die cuts. I don't know if it makes a difference. We'll see. I might just leave it like this and see how it looks afterwards. But next I want to show you how to reverse this cow image. So you need your Stamparatus, and you need a silicone pad or something like it, something rubbery, something that you can transfer the ink to. And I've got my stamp here, just stuck to the Stamparatus somewhere. It doesn't really matter because we're going to die cut them out. So before we add the paper, first we need to stamp it on the silicone. And I do it twice. That's why I love using the Stamparatus for this. I had figured this out, I don't know, it must have been like 3, 4, 5 years ago. I don't know, when we first got the Stamparatus. And I was doing it with the punch, and I figured it out. You can still use this technique if you're using a punch also. And I'll show you how it works. But you're going to put the image here, and then put in your paper carefully. Put that down. And leave that there, and you're going to stamp it exactly in the same place. And what that does is it makes sure that the ink that's on the silicone pad is really getting up in there. So, because that's the image we're going to use is the other side. Okay. Now carefully, now you don't want to slide it off this way because it could smear the ink under. You're just going to lift it up, and there is our reverse image. So to cut it out now, all we have to do is we're going to die cut the side that we stamped, and when that cuts out, it's going to automatically cut out this one. Before I die cut that, I'm going to stamp a few other things that we need to cut out. I'm going to stamp the trees. Let me line up my die here. I'm going to stamp a couple of the trees, and then I'll add the dies for these and be right back. So here's the cow. Here's the side that we inked. We stamped directly on the top, and then this is the back side. So it's it's not as sharp, but it's okay. It still really works. And what I like to do is take my bone folder and just smooth those edges down. You know, the back of a die cut is just a little more turned up, so I just kind of smooth that down. And then we can give them a little bit of color. I'm going to color my tree trunks in soft suede. We're going to do a little scribbling on the trees in the old olive. Now this is garden green, but these lines in here are pear and olive, so I'm going to use that. So you know, scribbling, what you do is scribble. That's it. That's great for trees. So it's not colored solid, and you want to have a little bit of lightness in there, and then come back in and do some scribbles. And I know you think it's going to look terrible. Now, when you scribble, back over it again, using your fine point, your bullet point, kind of all just colors in and looks good. Now in this one I used a light crumb cake, but I'm going to use the light papaya and just make it a little bit more, make her just slightly different, I suppose. I might end up liking papaya just because she's going to be a different cow. So the whole point of the card is there's no one like you, and she is purple and eating purple flowers. She's special, she's unique. So a little bit of dark heather, light heather combo here. A little scribble of the dark and then a scribble of the light. So that's really it. So she can come up here up on the mountainside. You can add your trees. You can add your clouds. This one I trimmed down a little just to make it look different. Right here. Add these. This one I'm going to move up just a tad bit so I have room for my sentiment. This sentiment comes from Happy Labels. I love this set. It comes in a bundle. It's in the mini catalog. Page 53 in the mini catalog. It comes in a bundle with this punch if you want it, but I already had a punch that was similar. So I went with just the sentiments, and I thought it worked out great with this. So on the inside, it says there's no one like you, with a little bit of purple here to tie this in. I'm so happy you were born. And on the inside greeting, I just stamped it again in purple and then trimmed it out and then stuck it over top there just to kind of add a little purple to the inside. And this paper is just as is. So you can see it right there down in the corner. I just cut a piece to fit right inside, and you can write a little note over here on this side if you want to, but I love it. Now these little daisies, these are the ones that I've been talking about. They're so fun. They're rubbery. They're easy to mail, and I just scattered those on. They glued on fine with just regular Tombow. I just put a little white liquid glue underneath each one. And on these up here, I colored them with my purple blends, so she's eating purple flowers up here. Seemed appropriate somehow. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. I hope that you get some of this paper and play with it. It really is fun. And we'll see you next time. See it, learn it, stamp it.